Hello, welcome. I ran a little late working out, so I just came from working out. I'm going to go shower after this. So welcome. Thank you for joining me in this free training. This is why you binge and 4 reasons to stop, or 4 ways to stop. So the reason that this is at top of mind is because here in Canada, it is Thanksgiving this weekend. So as we all know, Thanksgiving is a big holiday with lots of family, lots of emotions, and lots of food. And most people tend to have, not most people, but many people have anxiety around eating or eating these high, indulgent items or overeating and binging. So that is what we're going to talk about today. So if you are here, just say hello, wave, or give me a like if you can hear this. Give me a comment. If you have any questions about binge eating, please put them in the chat here, and I'm having a look, and I'll get to them right away. Okay, so this is where we begin. So a lot of times I'll talk to women in the DMs or get on calls with them or with new clients, and there's often a belief that you are special in your binging. You're not special. I mean, you are special, but in that you binge eat is not special. It's super common. Many people binge eat, and all of us emotionally eat, just so you know. We're not actually talking about emotional eating today. That's different than binge eating. Although emotional eating can lead to a binge, but today we're just talking about binge eating. So first of all, you're not special. There's nothing wrong with you. Lots of people, I would say most women binge or have binged or So it's super common. You're not broken. And in fact, if you are a dieter or have dieted in the past, there is a really high chance that you are most likely also a binge eater. I was a binge eater. Many of my clients were binge eaters before they did Muscles and Mindset. I want to just make a quick side note here that anorexia and bulimia are way over here in serious eating disorders. And then over here on the opposite end of the spectrum is casual free eating, which of course is how we want to feel. And binge eating and emotional eating are actually somewhere in the middle, because as I said, they're really common. They are not eating disorders, but they're also not what we're looking for all the time, although all binge eating will happen. So here's the problem, is binge eaters believe that the reason that they are binging is because they need more control via diet or restriction. So if you're here and you're listening to this, tell me if you can relate, if you've ever binge eaten, because this is what I hear as women say. I binge eat, I overeat, I eat these foods that I'm not supposed to eat, or I eat bad foods or whatever, and they believe that the answer to this is going on a diet, having more willpower, restricting more, controlling something. When in fact, that is what is perpetuating the binging. If I just, stuck to a diet, actually, it's not possible. You can't stick to a diet forever. That is in fact why your body binges, as a revolt towards this restrictive diet. So you actually have to learn how to not stick to a diet. And then especially consider that things like Thanksgiving get thrown in there. If you feel like you already don't have any discipline and willpower, and all you're trying to do is control and restrict, and then something like Thanksgiving comes up, you're either going to be miserable because you're not enjoying it at all, or you're not going to be able to completely avoid or eat intuitively, and you're probably going to overeat. There's probably going to be a binge. You're not going to feel good. Then you're going to feel guilty and shameful about that, and then you're going to start a diet, and the whole cycle begins over again. So binging is, again, not a disorder or an illness, but it is almost certainly a reaction to previous dieting, previous diets, Or a numbing technique to avoid feelings, which is more emotional eating. But binging is almost always certainly a reaction to a restriction or a diet, current or previous. And here's the thing. Binging is actually not wrong. It is your body trying to survive in the right way. As long as you keep fighting that urge and resisting that urge, or just trying not to eat. I had someone say to me in the DMs the other day that she was just like, I asked her what she was doing for fitness and nutrition, and she said, just avoiding eating. And I was like, oh girl, I did that too. And it's a recipe for poor health and binge eating, quite honestly. So as long as you're fighting the urge to eat carbs or whatever, not only is it going to continue and perpetuate, but it's going to feel like you're doing something terribly wrong because your body is resisting it out of survival mode. It's not normal. Binge eating and emotional eating are not the same. So again, right now we're just talking about binge eating, which is different than emotional eating. So when we're talking about binge eating, it's a reaction to a diet, a previous diet, or a restriction, or like a restrictive way of eating. You are actually supposed to feel hungry. This is a whole other conversation, but there's, in diet culture and society, there's like this perception that we should avoid being hungry. Like, oh, if I could just suppress my hunger, avoid being hungry, I wouldn't have to eat, and then I would be thin, and my life would be great. No. You are supposed to feel hungry. And if you are a person who doesn't feel hungry, or you say you don't feel hungry, or not hungry in the morning, it is purely because you are out of touch with your body's hunger cues, which is something that we teach in Muscles and Mindset, is how to get back to feeling your body, listening to your body, hearing your hunger cues, and then practicing honoring them, which literally ends binge eating. You are supposed to feel hungry. You're not supposed to avoid feeling hungry. So here are the 4 ways to end binge eating. Number 1, as we were just discussing, is to make friends with hunger, because then the binges will stop. It's the resistance and the restriction that causes the binges. A huge part of ending binge and emotional eating is mindfulness, and it is not complicated. It is also something that we teach in Muscles and Mindset, because I'll talk about this later, the key between here and mindfulness. So number 1 is to make friends with hunger. Binges will stop if you can do that. Number 2, you're going to be surprised to hear me say this, but number 2 is rest, which is also connected to mindfulness. But I would literally like you to just take 10 minutes a day to lie down anywhere, on the couch, on your yoga mat, on your bed. You're going to be tempted to grab your phone and start scrolling. Don't do it. Just lie, like, get so comfy, get your pillows and your blankie, and just lie down. This often binge and emotional eating is a tick, right? And drinking is a tick, like a need to do something. And so practicing doing nothing is actually going to teach you that you don't have to go to food to quell that like anxiety. I know, it's crazy. So lie down, just lie there. Your brain will not stop going, so don't like lie down and then you're thinking about things and be like, I'm doing it wrong. That will happen. That's completely normal. And I want you to hear me say, if you're a person who's thinking, I'm too busy to lie down for 10 minutes a day, you need to lie down for 10 minutes a day. Or, I don't have time to lie down for 10 minutes a day. You need to lie down for 10 minutes a day. Okay? So number 1, make friends with hunger. Number 2, rest, lie down for 10 minutes a day. Just do it. Number 3 is exercise, but only when you're fed and rested. So we're going to make friends with hunger. We're going to get lots of sleep and rest. And then we're going to exercise when our body is nourished and it feels good. So we're coming from a place of fullness, not like just avoiding food and adding in exercise. Exercise is a wonderful tool for getting into your body, particularly like dance and yoga, even I think strength training, because it so requires you to pay attention to your body. So I do want you to exercise, but not until you've been fed and rested. So you have to do those two things, and then we do exercise. And then number 4 is really the biggest one, and it comes into play in all realms of health. Number 4 is to trust your body. This entire time, for as many months or years as you've been binge eating, your body has actually been doing exactly what it is supposed to do. I had this amazing neurology professor when I was in massage therapy school. Her name is Vesna. She's this amazing Eastern European neurologist, and she always used to say when she was teaching us how the systems work, how our brain, our nervous system controls everything in our body, she would say, the body works perfectly. And it does. There's a system for everything. Everything that is a reaction is the body working perfectly, trying to get back to homeostasis. So your body has been trying to get you to listen by making you want to eat all the food, and you're not listening. Your body has been trying to heal your metabolism and refeed you so that you can go about your life and like spend time with your kids and do your job and hang out with your partner and like go to the beach and do like all the things that are really more important than worrying about not eating. But we think that we are smarter than our bodies, so we teach them to suppress our hunger. We do all these things to like not think about being hungry, just like drink a glass of water or whatever, which is like sometimes you're actually thirsty. But the point is not to quell the hunger. So your body is really trying to heal your metabolism and refeed you so that you can go about your life and, you know, do the things that are more important. But we think that we are smarter than our bodies, so we try to control and diet and restrict. So I want you to begin practicing mindfulness. So this is going to come from, you're going to make friends with hunger, you're going to rest, you're going to exercise when you're fed and rested. All of this will get you into your body, I promise, which is then the key to being mindful all the time. So you're going to start practicing mindfulness. There are trainings in our Muscles and Mindset course about mindfulness. I've talked about it. If you are in my free Facebook group, there are trainings on mindfulness. It's not complicated. It's the key to listening to your body is to start to listen and be mindful. And then listening to your body is the key to hearing your intuition, and then having some evidence that your intuition is correct is the key to trusting your body. So you're mindful, you then listen to your body, you listen to your body, you hear your intuition, what you like, what you don't like, what you want to do, what you're hungry for, what you're not hungry for. And then as you start to do those things, oh, this feels really good when I like work out this way, or I actually don't really like that like food that I've been eating, or I don't really want to wear that shirt today just because like Joyce is wearing that shirt today. This is you listening to your intuition, and you start to create evidence that like, oh yeah, like it feels good when I actually do what I like feels good for me. Then once you have some of that evidence, you actually start to trust your body, which is really where like the money is. That's where I am when it comes to food and fitness. That's where my clients get to, is you actually just eat with ease. You wake up in the morning not worrying about what you're going to eat or what you're going to not eat, or like even what you're going to wear, because you're just going to get up and see it and you're going to wear it, and it's not going to be a big deal. Trusting your body means never again worrying about whether you should eat something or not eat something, or whether you're going to work out today or not work out today, because you trust yourself. So you just trust that as it comes, you're going to deal with it. And this takes time. It's a very gentle, lifelong unlearning. But when you get there, you start trusting the process. Your body is literally the most intelligent, intuitive tool that you have access to. So if you are open to listening to and trusting it, like that's money. That's it. That is the ticket. So I want to keep this brief. So I just want to recap that the reason you binge is from dieting and restricting. And to stop that, you're going to 1, make friends with hunger. Binges will stop. 2, Take 10 minutes a day to rest, lie down, do nothing. Yeah, just notice your thoughts. 3, once you're fed and rested, you get to exercise, get into your body. This doesn't mean every day. This can be going for a walk daily. And number 4 is to trust your body. So when you start to get into your body, you can trust your intuition, you can trust your body, you can trust your hunger, you can trust yourself. Everything gets easier, I promise. So those are the 4 ways to end binge eating. And if you would like more support with this, we are opening up an exclusive small container for a handful of women to join Muscles and Mindset in a nutrition-only capacity this weekend. We're going to have a 72-hour opening from Sunday to Tuesday, and we're only going to take a handful of people, and then they're all going to go through the process together. They're going to have weekly coaching, one-on-one coaching calls with Coach Kirsten. They're going to have group coaching calls with Coach Kirsten. They're going to have group coaching calls with me on mindfulness and mindset. Yeah, it's very exciting. So this is a 3-month program. We are launching it on Sunday morning, I think. So it will only be open for 72 hours. It will fill up. So if you're here watching this video and you want access before it's open to the public, send me a message. We'll see if you'll be a good fit and we can get you in before it goes public. And of course, if you just have any questions about binge eating, always ask them. You know, you can email me, you can DM me at AnnJonesFit on Instagram, or you can just comment them here, and Kirsten and I will answer them. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Trust your body. Have a wonderful day.